Plaintiff Augustine Ramos says the defendant is his brother, and growing up, they shared a passion for music. Augustine claims their dream was to sell their music, but those dreams fell apart after the defendant went to jail. Augustine is suing his brother today for the cost of the recording equipment. Defendant Adrian Ramos admits that he got involved with the wrong crowd and landed in jail. And he says when his mother came to him crying, he decided to turn his life around. Adrian claims he wrote poetry in prison, which he eventually turned into lyrics, and he insists there was no set time frame for him to pay for the recording equipment.
Prove your case.
Adrian Ramos, he's my older brother. We grew up, we had a pretty good relationship. We shared the same passion for music, and we started talking about eventually making our own music. So,
what type of music?
We like hip hop, make some rap music.
Okay.
And it was our dream to get it in stores and get it selling, but at that time, Adrian had got mixed in with the wrong group of people about summer of 2007. He got incarcerated.
You should have got a hit record then if you were incarcerated. All the rappers I know, they go to jail, they come out with platinum. Starting with, God bless his soul, Tupac Shakur, but when he was incarcerated, and when he came out, that's when he blew through the ceiling. And who's most recent? T.I., love his music. What's the latest? Wheezy?
Wheezy baby.
That's his nickname. What they call him? Lil Wayne, about to come out of Rikers Island. I tried to visit with him when I went there. They wouldn't let me get to him. I said, I want to get some of the music he has and try and play it on the Judge Mathis show. No, he has a hit out now from jail or from prison. So what's your problem? You're not multi-platinum? You been to prison and didn't get a hit?
Not yet.
All right, you ready to go back?
No, I'm not.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. You tell me about some of your experiences and why you went to the penitentiary. What happened?
Well, first of all, like Augustine said, you know, we have a big family. I got 4 brothers and 2 sisters. We all like to listen. We also listen to classic rock, you know, Tom Petty, Eric Clapton, stuff like that. Been to some of their concerts. Like I ended up eventually going with the wrong crowd, you know, unfortunately.
What city you all from?
Amarillo, Texas.
What type of crowd did you start running with?
I ended up getting involved in drugs and credit card scams, and that's what I got caught for is credit card debit abuse. You know how it is, get in trouble. I know you've been in trouble before, and you know, your mom was influenced you. Well, it's kind of how it was for me. My mom would come visit me in jail, you know, she'd be crying because I was there and locked up, and I felt bad, like she thought it was her fault. So I was writing poems when I was locked up, and I wrote her a poem, like just telling her basically that it's not her fault, that I'm sorry, you know. I got it here. I got a copy of it if you want to.
You want to read it out? Let me hear it.
Oh, well, I'm kind of.
All right,
I don't know. I'll let you read it.
I'll take a look. A little too emotional for you?
Yeah.
How long did you stay in jail?
Oh, well, I was only there for 11 months.
Okay. And how long ago were you released?
In July of 2008.
Okay. What have you done since then?
Well, when I was still in there, I got my GED. You know, I was taking an accounting college class, but
excellent.
I have been wanting to try and go back to college, but I haven't had a chance
Why?
yet.
You don't have a skilled trade or a college or a community college?
I was working for a little while.
You were working? All right. Well, next job you get, also go to school at night, and so that when that job is eliminated, you'll have a skill. First of all, let me applaud you for getting your GED.
Appreciate it.
A lot of guys. And be proud of that. Don't let anybody suggest to you that it's not equal to this or look down on you. I was at a conference this weekend and I mentioned, well, yeah, you know, left there and got a GED. They all got quiet. And they started whispering, oh, he has a GED, all lawyer types. I said, yeah, and I outcompeted all y'all with my GED, and now I'm your guest speaker with my GED. So don't let anybody try and put you down. Your GED. Let me read some of this. Please forgive me for all I've done. I know I haven't been the greatest son. Cry for me no longer. I know it's hard, but Mom, you got to be stronger. You raised me right and did all you could. I chose to live this life, and I live not because of anything you did. You gave me all your love, and this is the greatest gift. Now you're going to have me breaking down. I got your point, man. Great guy. Appreciate it. Very good. Thank you. Now, he's suing you over recording equipment, obviously from the music you all were making together. This recording equipment, what was the agreement?
The agreement was that when he got out, we were starting to put the studio together, but we hadn't got any recording equipment. And Adrian had said that he would pitch in a third, and we all pitched in a third. Me and Gabriel, we pitched in his third until he got a job. He had got his job and he got a Mustang and started buying new clothes and buying clothes for his girlfriend, and I never seen no payment. So I was like, hey, it's time to pay me. I actually have a list of the studio equipment here if you'd like to see it.
So what's the status of you all's music endeavor?
Right now it's on a hold. We got 2 albums. We have made them, but we don't have any ink to print out the CDs.
Okay.
And we need to get packaging to put them in stores, but we don't have any funds to do that as of right now. We're just trying to get him to pitch in his third.
Sir, what about your third?
I did agree, but we never made an agreement or when how to pay him off. But
How long ago did you agree?
It was July of 08
Okay.
when I got out.
By the way, how's your mother?
Oh, she's doing good.
All right. You're not breaking her heart anymore?
Oh, no.
All right. Be sure you don't. You know, you have a chance to redeem yourself. I only had 6 months to redeem myself between the time I left the penal system and the time my mother passed. Thank God I was in my 3rd month in college. She saw me in my 3rd month of college. You can go a lot further than that, all right? Make your mother proud because you've broken her heart, and I'm glad you realized that, all right? You can make it up to her. With regard to this payment that you were to make, you haven't been able to come up with $700 in 2 years?
Well,
You better get back in the game. Just kidding. Don't do that. You know I'm kidding. I definitely don't want you getting in the street. No, why? You haven't been able to pay him in 2 years? You've had a job?
yeah, like he said, I would have
Spending on the girl, like he said. One more comment and then I'm going to rule. You want to stand up and say something?
Yeah.
State your name.
My name's Gabriel Ramos.
All right.
I'm the producer. You know,
Okay.
I rap too and I produce.
Okay.
Honestly, I've worked way less than him. And, you know, he's had high-paying
I know
jobs.
he's tricking it off with his girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what you said, too. You say what he says is pretty much right.
And, you know, I tried to be, you know, lenient and look past it a little, you know, try to give him some room.
It's been too long, 2 years.
But the problem is he goes on his own time and, you know, he pulls me. Hey,
And he
let's-
goes on her time.
Her time, exactly. My point. And so, you know, he stops me, whatever I'm doing. I'm like, okay, I'll go, even though he haven't paid.
Okay. Strike a balance because a good woman is good for a man who is in and out of trouble. She'll help stabilize you. She'll put a little pressure on you to do the right thing. And you won't want to, you prefer her as a girlfriend outside the jail. No. Got my point?
Yeah, I got
All right. Judgment for the plaintiff. It's whenever there isn't a deadline, the law is that he has to be paid in a reasonable amount of time. And 2 years is certainly a reasonable amount of time in which you should have paid him. Therefore, I will grant you your judgment, $715. Keep up the good work, all of you all, and stay out of trouble. Have
Yes,
a good
sir.
day.
I would like to get past this. You know, I'd like to start making music with him again. Now that this is all behind us, I'd like to get back in the studio and do our thing.
I can't wait to start recording.
I'm glad we could get past this and start the music up again.